Hello and welcome. Yeah, sorry for that little bit of delay there. You can thank Facebook for that, and I won't get into details. How's everybody doing? Not only did we have to start late because of Facebook, but the stream may die. So we are having another wicked storm. I know this is just like we said last week, but it's happening again. We're having another wicked storm. All kinds of alerts and warnings are going off. So if we disappear, that would be why, because power may go out, because hey, weather, we have no control over it. How's everybody doing? I hope that you're someplace warm, safe, and dry. My name is Kathleen. I'm here as your tech coach. Tonight we're going to be talking about count them five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a bonus, easy, super easy things that you can do on your business blog to help improve everything. Sounds pretty good, right? All right, so let's get this rolling because we're beating a storm one way or another. So here we go with the intro. Hello and welcome. My name is Kathleen and I am here as your tech coach. The short version for those of you who are new is technology is my day gig. It's also my hobby. So I am the person everybody in my world turns to when they have a question or looking for advice, so on and so forth. And I know not everybody has one of me out there. So that's why I do this show. I bring a topic every week, but you are always welcome to bring your own tech questions or to share tips or advice that you've gotten and share it with the community. Whatever works. Oh, it's all good. I just bring the topic so we have something to start with. So, speaking of which, whoops, I should do this without me. There we go. This is what we're talking about tonight. So we are going to be talking about 5 super easy ways that you can make your business blog better. They really are easy. It doesn't cost any money. It doesn't cost any extra time. You just need to have these things in your head when you are working on your blog. So, if everybody is ready, and I think we are, let me just double check that after that little blip, Facebook should still be working. Let's make sure that it worked, because if I went through all that and it didn't work, I'm not going to be a happy camper. Come on, Facebook, load the page. Okay, looks like we are live. Awesome. Okay, if you're going to make me jump through hoops, then all I ask is that you actually work. You're saying that it's live, but I can't see it. Okay, wait. Make sure I turn the sound off because we don't need to hear me twice. I just like the verification that it's working, especially because it's been a little bit of a pain lately. All right, so we are live on Facebook, on Periscope, and on YouTube. So if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to share, go ahead, throw it into the comments, and I will catch it. That is what I do. All right, so let us dive into the topic at hand. Get all of my pieces in place. There we go. All right. Well, you should probably bring me into the picture. What do you think? Let's do that. Let's get to the first one, actually. Okay. So right off the bat, this is something so super important. And it's the type of thing that you realize, you just don't realize you realize it. So we have a little visual for this one. Let me bring it up. Where did I put it? Bring me all of my windows, please. This is it. Okay, so let me put this over here. I can guarantee that when your brain saw this, either consciously or subconsciously, it went, oh my God, that's too much to read. That's just the reality. But this is how most people blog, right? They have an idea and they want to give you all that information, which is awesome. That's what you want to do. You want to share stories, you want to do all this stuff, but you have to think about the way people process information. And there's one simple thing that you can do, and that is this. Use headings and subheadings. Why? You use headings and subheadings for a bunch of different reasons, okay? First of all, okay, and let's not try to ignore the reality here, right? It helps your SEO, okay? If you have headings and subheadings, that gives more information to the bots that come from the search engines. It helps them understand what the content is, put some context around it. Also, it is looking for those kinds of things. They kind of have a checklist of things to make sure that it's going to work for the people that they're going to suggest it to. So you want to have that there because it helps them. But it also helps your humans, okay? Because somebody's going to come into this, right? They're going to click on the link for your blog post and they're going to go, oh, guarantee you, I've seen it happen. Either audibly or you just see it in their face. When we do testing, like that's always the way. But if you do this, I think I did it this way. This is exactly the same text you saw in the previous view, except it's got a title, okay? Every single page on your website needs to have a title. That is something that the bots look for. It's also something the humans look for, okay? And then you want to break it up. You want to, your writing is organized. I know that. But if you don't provide these little signposts along the way, people don't perceive them as being organized. They kind of see it as just a dump of words on a page. So you put a heading in, you put subheadings in where it's appropriate. You try to break things out into a more friendly, readable format, okay? Bullet points. If you've got something that's an actual process, put the numbers on it. These are all very simple. This is another thing to do. At the bottom, do some sort of summary. It doesn't have to be TDD, which if you're not into the geek speak, that is too long, didn't read. But you could just call it summary or whatever. Something at the bottom, because what some people do, what most people do, especially on the web, is they come in, they look at this, because they're trying to see, do they have the time for this now? Is it worth their time right now? Is it something they're interested in? So what they're going to do is they're going to come in and they're going to see, okay, well, they clicked on the link and the title right away is going to help them be oriented. If your lead in here said something, then the title should reflect that too, because that is confirmation to the people who have clicked on the link to say, I landed in the right spot. Then they're going to quickly scroll through and they're going to quickly scan through the page and they're going to read the subheads either consciously or subconsciously, okay? And if you have a little summary down here, a lot of people, that's where they start. They'll start down here with the summary to see, is this really what I think it is? Is it really something that's going to help me? And then if so, then they come back up. And then they read the whole thing. Then they give you their time, which of course is very valuable. So make it easy for them to make the decision to stick around and read your post. The other thing is to put in, little pictures or whatever else along the way, which we'll talk about in a little bit more detail in a second. But you see the difference between this and this. It's a world of difference with no cost to you, very little effort, because I promise you, when you wrote this in your head, it was structured this way. So you just need to make sure that it gets to the page that way too. Okay? So that is number one. Make sure you're using headings and subheadings. They are your friends and they will work. And it will help your SEO. It will help them decide to read when they do the quick scan. And it will help them keep reading, because the other benefit here is, as they're going through, if they aren't scanners, right? If they just start at the top and start reading through, each one of these little headings and subheadings is an enticement to keep going, because maybe they get to here and they realize they're hungry or they need more coffee, but then they're like, well, this subheading is interesting. Let me just keep going a few more minutes. And then they're like, no, I really am hungry. Wait, I'm going to keep reading. Wait, I'm going to keep reading. Now, each one of these is a wait, I'm going to keep reading. So again, in your best interest. Make sense? Everybody on the same page? We got this? Good. Let's roll along. Next. Only underline links. Now, this is something that there's a lot of causes for. Back in the dark ages, before we had word processors, underlining was one of the ways that you could emphasize, highlight text, because you didn't have bold and all those other things. There are still people out there today, even in word processors, who are doing it. There are people who are also doing it. They're teaching that in the classes, which makes my head explode on a regular basis. The only thing that should ever have an underline in your content on the web is if it's a hyperlink. And even then, it's really extraneous at this point, but if you have to do it, then that's fine. It is a guide to people, okay? Like this, when you see this, you know that there's a link, right? And it's going to take you someplace. So when you do things like underline a heading or underline content in your paragraph, people think it's a link, they're going to click on it, they're going to get frustrated. You may not think that it works against you, but it does, because it's all a part of the friction that people encounter in life, and every piece of friction that you put in front of them, subconsciously or consciously, comes across as a strike against you. So don't do it. While we're at it, make sure that your presentation is polished, right? You want to show that you care about your business, your customers, right? The people who are reading. So take the extra couple of seconds, reread it. Run a spell check on it. please, for the love of everything you hold holy, do not double space after periods. Again, I know that people are taught that. I know everybody's told that, but I promise you, from the very first word processor that came out, there has been no need for it. I know your teachers told you to. They are wrong. If you don't believe me, go get the book. The Mac is not the Mac is not a typewriter, or the PC is not a typewriter. Same content, just targeted to the two audiences. It is not necessary. Word processors, all the browser tools automatically put in the right amount of space afterwards. Double spacing after a period was also just a hack that people had no other choice but to use back in the days of fixed typewriters. Okay, here, can you see? Okay, so my lovely fixed typewriter here. Okay, right? Back in those days, that's all you could do because that's all you had. But ever since, yes, I know, I made the typing noises. Murphy, for some reason, likes the typing noises. Since the very first word processor, the programs have put the right amount of space there because a double space was never correct. Okay, if you learn anything about typesetting, you know that for each font, there was a specific amount of space, and they actually used pieces of lead to put the right spacing in. Okay, that's getting way into some trivia kind of stuff here, but so just trust me on this, no double spacing after periods. Okay, it just makes things look bad. The other thing that I want to show you is that if you are not 100% comfortable, or I think that's not the word, confident is the word. If you're not 100% confident in your own writing abilities, and hey, nothing wrong with that. We all have areas that we don't feel as strong in. There are tools out there. So this is one I recommend to a lot of people because it's all kinds of awesome. There's a free plan and a paid plan. The free plan is all kinds of awesome. So this is Grammarly, okay? Students use it, writers use it. It just works. You use it in the browser. There is one that you can download for your desktop. Like I said, there's paid and there's free, and it just works, and it lets you know. Prices are not bad, but like I said, you really don't have to because it is really just super easy. Now, let me see if will it show me? Let's see what happens. I'm going to show you. So here, okay. So this is what it does. It checks your writing. It will make suggestions on grammar. It'll catch your spelling errors. Now, of course, it's a tool, okay? You're not going to automatically do everything it tells you, but it is something that you should at least evaluate when it makes the recommendation. There are things that you may do stylistically that just fit your voice better, or you're trying to make a point by not doing something, and that's all fine, as long as you're making an informed choice. And it's just also a lifesaver when it comes to spelling. So it is definitely something to look at. It's Grammarly.com. You search on it for the web. There's other tools out there, but this is the one I recommend to people. And it is a great way to just give you that little extra confidence, to give you that proofreader that you can't afford to hire maybe right now. So you can go ahead and use it. And this is one of the nice things about it is you can add your own personal words. So if your industry has certain acronyms or terminology that get flagged a lot as misspelling, you can go ahead and add those in, and then going forward, the tool won't pay any attention to those anymore because it knows that you've got it right. So keep that in mind. And of course, only underline your links. Please, we're asking nicely. Please do that for us, okay? All right, let's keep going. Oh, I'm sorry, I really should check in here because I also don't have complete faith that the tool I use to pull comments is working because it's been a little bit of a problem lately. That's okay. All right. Nope, that's fine, you guys. I'm not going to pull all of your comments. If you're having a conversation, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. I just want to make sure that if there's something that needed to come up, I was grabbing it. So please, no worries. Enjoy. All right. Mix it up. So a lot of people get into a formula kind of approach to doing their blog, and there's nothing wrong with that because if that's what helps you get a blog out on a regular basis, then hey, that's a win. But don't be afraid to mix it up a little bit. You know, maybe teach something, maybe tell a story, share an experience you've had. Also work in promotion. I mean, it is your blog after all. Include, calls to action. Maybe you're supporting a charity, or maybe you want them to come and check out your new product or service, whatever it is. But, the templates are fine, and, using a formula to write your blog post is perfectly okay, but spice it up. Keep it fresh. Do something a little different once in a while. Your audience will appreciate it. It will also help them look forward to your next one, which, by the way, it's not on the list, but you really should be on a schedule with these things. But we can talk about that in a second. Okay. Include images and video, right? So let's go back to our little example here, right? Now, didn't that little artistic little picture of Mr. Murphy catch your attention more than blah, 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 right? Now, of course, you want to try to keep the images, tied to your topic. But a little splash of color, a little visual interest is something that the human mind reacts to. Also, these little bits of white space. Some people are terrified of white space. White space is our friend. It helps the brain to chunk together the information that's being presented. So this is always a good idea to put an image in. Try not to use stock photo if you possibly can. It's much better to take your own picture and put it up there, just because, again, that's bringing your personality, your voice, your business marketing to the situation. But if you have to, there's some good, stock photos out there. Sorry, he's upset because there's a thunderstorm coming. I can hear it. So, just try to mix it up. One suggestion I can make to you is, if you are going to use stock images, do something to it. So, like, I don't know if you can see with this. Maybe if I zoom it in. And this is, of course, is a picture I took of Mr. Murphy. It doesn't look like it's going to. Let me see if I do this. There we go. So this is just a picture I took of him in the grass, and I just ran it through one of those processors that you get in like Instagram and Snapchat and all those kinds of stuff. There's just apps that you can download that let you do this kind of stuff to it, because it just changes it up a little. You can do that to your stock images. You can crop something out. You can focus in on part of it. You can add a little filter to it. Don't get too carried away with them. They can be a little much. This one is a little much. But this was actually part of a card I did for one of my nieces. So, but yeah, there's just those kinds of little tricks that you can do will also help to spice it up and make it interesting. So definitely images, do that. And as we've been talking about, if you are doing videos, whether they are pre-recorded or you are doing live streams, include pieces, right? Or write a blog post for the live stream that you did, or write a blog post for the recorded video you released. Put some context in there, and then invite people to watch the rest of it on the video. This is going to be another huge SEO win for you, which, okay, that's not everything that you're going to do, but it's important. You want the SEO because that's how people are going to find you. But it will give you a chance to find a different audience than maybe you would have found on Facebook or YouTube or Periscope or wherever you're doing your lives or your recordeds, because maybe some segment of your audience doesn't go to those places or didn't happen to come across your posting when they did their search, but they visit your website on a regular basis. So it's another way to let them know that, hey, look, we just did this video. I really think you're going to like it. Here's why. Here's some information about it. Click on the link and you can go and catch the rest of it. So again, another huge win, and another way to build engagement, because they can come to your blog post and they can, ask questions in the comments or respond in the comments. They can share it with their friends and their family and their neighbors, their coworkers. So it's all good, and it plays into that repurposing thing we've talked about, right? So if you do a live stream, if I spend 30 minutes with you folks, 20, 30 minutes, we talk about a topic, maybe we kick around some ideas, then I always have a recorded copy of that, in addition to what's gone out to the platforms, that I can take and I can slice up, and sometimes I use part of it on my Twitch streams. Sometimes and by the way, I'm guilty here, I have not been doing my blog, and part of me doing this show is me pushing me to get back to blogging, because I'm going to take bits of the different videos I do and use those as content for a blog post, a little text around it, and then the link to the show so people can go check it out. Some of them will be the whole show, some of them will be a segment, where I want to dive in a little bit deeper in the text. Repurposing, getting the word out there, getting mileage out of the videos you're doing already or will be doing soon. It's all a part of the overall plan for you. All right. Speaking of which, make sure, whoops, did I not bring that back? I did, okay. Make sure you respond to comments. This is critical, okay? So whether on your videos that you post, whether it's a live stream or recorded that you post, but especially in your blog, okay? If somebody takes the time to come check out your blog and post a comment, make sure you go and check those. Make sure you are reading them. Most of the different tools out there, whatever you're hosting your site on, have some sort of a comments thing, so it will notify you. You can even have it message you when somebody does it, but just make it happen. It doesn't have to be that moment, okay? You don't have to be there watching for them to, oh my God, oh wait, are they going to say something? No, so make it a part of your routine. Go in once or twice a week. Go into the tool. Gee, are there any comments I need to respond to? You should also be doing this on Facebook and Periscope and YouTube and all those places. And they all have little widgets someplace, some sort of functionality that will let you see here are all of your comments. Respond to them. give them a thumbs up or a heart or whatever. Let them know that they've been heard, okay? Respond to them if they have a question or if they're looking for more information, or just say, hey, thanks so much for checking out. Really appreciate it. You know, we've done maybe other content on this, or we're going to be doing more on this. I hope you'll come back. Whatever it is, just engage with them. They've taken the time to reach out to you. Make sure you respond to that in a way that is appreciative and maybe gives them additional information, what have you. But if nothing else, just let them know that you heard them, because that does make a big difference to people. So we're also going to talk about two other little things. Bonus, okay? One is when you're doing your blog, and I'm not picking on this person because they actually do very good content, but when you are doing your blog, when you're doing your website, make sure you don't do this, okay? This gray with this pink, which is kind of a semi-violent pink, and this funky font are very hard to read. There's a reason why you see so many sites that are using either Arial or Roboto, which is the Google one, or Verdania. There's a reason why those are so popular, because they are very easy to read. They work well across all devices. Most of them have been built so that they work well for many people. You can't solve all the problems, but many people who have dyslexia or other problems. So there are specialty fonts out there that are customized for online use. Make sure you're using them. Don't pick something cute because you think it's cute, okay? Because you're not serving your audience that way. Your priority needs to be, is it clear, is it clean, is it easy to read? If it does not win on all of those, then don't use it, okay? If you want to do something like that with the funky, weird fonts and the strange colors that are hard to read, I don't know what to tell you, because you're not going to get readers. So don't do that on your business blog. If you want to do that on your personal blog, that's a personal choice. But for your business, make sure you are making it as accessible as possible, okay? The other thing, which I kind of alluded to, is that you really need to make sure that you are being consistent, that you are getting a blog post out, just like we talked about with the videos. You want to make sure that you're doing it on a regular basis. I'm just realizing I can show you something. You want to make sure that people know when to expect. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't surprise them with something else, like do something off schedule, but you do want to make sure that if you decide that every Thursday at 8 p.m. you're going to do a live show, or every Thursday at 8 p.m. you're going to push new content to your blog, make sure you do that. And the nice thing, so the nice difference between like doing it live, if you're going to do something live on a regular basis, you have to be there live, right? You can't fake live. You're either live or you're not. But you can, when it comes to your blog posts, you can sit down and you could churn out one for every week if you wanted to. Let me just go in here. We'll bring this over in a second. Oh, maybe because I don't have one here. That's okay. We can do it on my other. This is where it pays to have multiple websites and multiple shows. All right, come on. I'm going to show you. So most of the tools that you guys are using, including me, to put the content out for your website, for the blogs, they give you a way to schedule them. So let me bring this over. So this is, don't be confused. So this is, I also do a show with a coworker friend. And we schedule our posts. Now, we haven't scheduled in a while, but you see here, you've got your drafts, you've got your review, you've got your scheduled. So what you can do is when you are writing something, you can, let me see if I go down here to remember how to do this. It's not going to come to me right now. Okay. But the point is that you can, when you're making your edits to it, you can save it and you can set the status to be under review. So sometimes I do a blog post, but I want her to add something to it, or vice versa, or I want to fact check something, so I have her check it. And then you can schedule it. Would help if I was showing you this. So sorry. One sec. There we go. So here, when I go into the blog and when you're working on the blog, you can actually then set it as a draft, okay, which means it's not ready yet, but it's, we're working on it. If we want one or the other to look at it, we can set it to review. And then when it's ready to go, you can set the day and time that it's going to go live, and then the system will automatically push it out for you. So if you are the type of person who does well doing things in bulk, you could sit down, you could write, next week's blog, next month's blogs for the rest of the year, okay? And then schedule each one to go out and know that it's going to go out. It's taken care of. You can always do other posts, on the fly, but you can always, keep in mind that, okay, this is done at least. I know that this is going out. Just like you can do with social media posts. You can use Hootsuite or Later or Sprout Social. There's a bunch of them out there where you can go in and you can pepper, all kinds of posts in there, schedule them to go at a certain day and time, and know that they're going to go. So you don't have to be sitting there going, okay, is it time? Is it time? Okay. You don't need that in your life. That's extra stress. So make use of these types of things. You can go ahead and you can schedule this kind of stuff to make your life a little bit easier. And hey, who doesn't want that? And it also makes it easy for you to be consistent because you've already scheduled it and taken care of it, and it's good to go. So we can definitely all benefit from that. So what we have been talking about, I'm going to just go back to the beginning here just to reorient everybody. Let's go here. So the 5 things are: use your headings and your subheadings. Again, it would help if I brought this up. There we go. Use your headings and your subheadings because it makes it a win for your SEO and for your humans. It chunks it up the way they expect it, and it makes it easier to read and entices them to keep reading as they go through, and things are going to pop up that are going to try to distract them. But your headings and subheadings will keep them on the page until they finish your content. Make sure you're not using underlines on anything that isn't a link. If it's a link, underline it if you want to, but otherwise do not use them because it is misleading to people. Also keep an eye on things like double spacing after periods, your grammar, your spelling, all those kinds of things. There's tools like Grammarly out there if you want to use those. By the way, not sponsored, just a fan. Mix it up, right? So if you are using a formula for your blog post, there's nothing wrong with that. Continue to do so, but mix it up a little bit. Throw in, teach them something new. It doesn't even have to be directly tied to your business. It's always better if it is, but it's okay to throw in something else. It adds a little bit more humanity to your posts. So teach, tell a story, promote, put a call to action in. It doesn't even have to, so the call to actions, the promotion, maybe you sponsor the town's, softball league, and you can post that, they're in the championships and everybody go out and support them, or there's a charity that you support, or you've got a new product or service coming out and you want them to go and check out this special page you put on your blog about, on your website about it, hey, call to action, click here to get more information, or click here to send us your email, or click here to sign up for the mailing list. Sorry, I hadn't really planned that, but that kind of fell together nicely. But these are all kinds of things that you can do in your blog. I happen to be doing it here on the live stream. But you can say, hey, we've started a mailing list. We're going to send out coupons. We're going to send you out information. Sign up, and then you can join. In our case, it will keep you up to date on the show schedule and other things that are coming up, which we'll talk about in a minute. Number 4 is include images and video. Repurpose your images and video, your promotions, your marketing, your ads, your live streams, your recorded videos. Maybe not the whole thing, but you certainly can. You can take the whole thing and build a blog post around it and get more eyes on it. Or you can take chunks of it and focus in on something specific and say, hey, remember we were talking about, doing headings and subheadings, and here's an example of why that's better, and then I have the example of one without and one with. You can work all of that into a blog post and then incorporate just that part of the live stream or the recorded video to get more eyes on it and to get the attention of people who maybe don't have 30 minutes to spend on your whole show, but have 3 to 5 minutes for that one segment. Okay? And finally, respond to comments. Acknowledge them. Answer their questions. Give them the hearts or the thumbs up or whatever to let them know they've been heard, because people like that. People like to feel heard, and when they feel that, then they're more likely to come back. They're also more likely to tell people about you. So that is the 5 things. Like I said, doesn't have to cost you a dime, right? Nothing here was earth-shaking. You don't have to take a 6-month course. You just need to apply some very basic things, maybe write these down, put them up next to your monitor to remind you next time you go to do your blog posts. It'll help you present your business better. It'll help you to be more consistent about what you're doing, and it will help you help your audience to read and comprehend the information you're giving them. So, for those of you maybe who weren't here last week, do you want to know a secret? So, time is running out because I'm just about ready to do the full launch. But for you folks who are here now, if you are interested, I do have a little something to tell you. So I am starting a service that I'm going to make available to a number of people, but a limited number. Okay, I can't do thousands of people for this, but what I'm going to do is this. So if you want to do a live show, right, but you are just overwhelmed by the idea of it, I can do this for you. I can send you a link, literally a link that you can click on. Okay, you can use your phone, you can use a desktop if you have a webcam, you can use your laptop. Most of them come with a webcam. I send you a link, you click on it, you talk. we will have talked beforehand, you and I, and we will put together things like this. So as you're talking, I can put up the link, the information for your mailing list, right? Or if you want to show the topic, right? Or maybe you want to have, something, your logo or your name, right? We could do that. If you wanted to do things like this, I should take that down. So if you wanted to do like a presentation like you've been looking at, right? So I've been showing you slides. If you want to do slides as part of yours, I can do all of that for you remote. So you can just focus on talking to your audience. It's really simple, and the benefit of it is, maybe you want to do it, or maybe you are doing this, but you can only do it to one platform because you don't have the world's greatest internet service. Because it does take a lot of bandwidth to send this out. So like right now I'm sending it to 3 places, right? I'm going to Periscope, I'm going to Facebook, and I'm going to YouTube all at the same time while also making a local copy. That takes a lot of processing power, it takes special software, and it takes bandwidth to get it out to the internet. So I can do that for you too. So if you're just going to Facebook now, but you kind of like to do YouTube at the same time, we could do that. You could do the show once, and it could automatically be going out to those. And for everybody that I'm going to do this for, I'm also going to give them each week their own extra copy of it. So it's a local recording I make, because when you download it from the services, they've compressed it and the quality's not as good as it was. So I'll give you a nice clean copy that you can take, give to your advertising person, or you can do it yourself, or have your kid do it, whatever. But you can repurpose it. You can do what we were talking about, chop it into little pieces to put it on Instagram TV or on your blog or whatever, or just keep it as an archive, whatever you want to do with it. But it will be another resource for you as a way to market your business. So if you are interested, and this sounds like something you would like to check out, I invite you to do this. Go to yourtechcoach.net/one-click live streaming. All one word. No spaces, nothing else. Because the people who go there and fill out the form before June 1st, because this will be out there for a while. So if you're seeing this a year, so this is 2019. If you're in 2020 and you're seeing this, sorry, the discount will be over. But for the people who do it before June 1st of 2019, you will get a special deal on this. I'm working out all the details. Sometime in the days after June 1st, I'm going to do the full launch for this. But I am inviting you to get your name in. Okay, all you have to do is give me your name. I don't need a credit card or anything at this point. But anybody who gets their name in will be on my list of folks who are early adopters who will get the discount, and then as I am able to release it and I can give you all the details on it, you'll already be ahead of everybody because you'll get first shot at it and you'll get a discounted rate. Who doesn't love a good discount? So keep that in mind. If you are at all interested in live streaming, if you'd like to talk about it, just make sure you go ahead and give me your name. It's just email address is all I need. You can give me other information if you want. There's some extra fields on there, but just think about it. Let me know. You too can have things like this coming across, which it ups your game. There's nothing wrong at all of just doing it from your phone. Lots of people do it, are very successful. There's nothing wrong with it. All this does is it gives you a little bit of extra polish on it. Also, it's very hard. One challenge with doing it this way is it's very hard to do your stream and manage comments all from the one. So that's something else that I would be able to do for you, is I would be able to bring up your comments when they come in. So that way everybody can see it, but you can also see it, and we would work out a way, so you would know that was coming. It's just a little extra polish. And also the really big benefit is just being able to stream it to multiple platforms because, hey, more eyeballs. All right, because let's face it, you're not going to get the YouTube people to go to Facebook. You're not going to get the Facebook people to go to YouTube. Everybody has their favorite, so you want to be there too. So just one more time, if you want to get in and you want the discount, you don't have to make any promises. You're not signing up for anything. This is just getting in to get the discount if you decide when I release all the information that you do want to move forward with it. So it's yourtechcoach.net/one-click live streaming. Okay? All right, everybody, it is time to wrap this up. We beat the storm, so that's good news. If you have any questions, comments, please, please, please feel free to reach out. Easy enough to get a hold of. You go to yourtechcoach.net. There's a contact form there. I'm also on Twitter. You can go to your_techcoach, and you can DM me or tweet at me, and I am going to be very happy to get back to you and answer your questions. All right? Thank you so much. I hope the rest of your week goes well and you have a good weekend, and that I will... Oh, actually... Good point. there will be a show next week, but I'm going to have to do it early because I have to go and do something during the normal show time. Glad I remembered that. So next week's show will be I'm shooting for like 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so if you'd like to be here live, and I do appreciate your live, I love to see the hearts and the thumbs up and the comments coming in. So if you do want to do that, it will be 5:30 next week, and then it'll go back to 8 o'clock after that. Okay. All right. I'm glad I remembered. I wanted to let you know. I will see you soon. Have a good one. Please feel free to sign up for the mailing list if you would like to. Bye.